We are halfway through Siman Beis Sif Lamed Tes. We're up to the Ramah. So the Ramah writes, the Mechaber was dealing with the obligation that the tefillin should be square. You have to make sure that they're, again, perfect squares. It says the Ramah, Aval goy v'habatim, the height does not have to be, it could be slightly rectangular, meaning as long as the top is a perfect square, the height does not also have to be a perfect square. So let's say it's 1 inch, 2 inches by 2 inches on the top. The height can be 3 inches. That's fine, even though it's technically, if you look at the entire thing as overall, it's a rectangle. But the hakpada is on the overhead view, so to speak. So it says the Ramah, the height can be not the same as the width and the length. As long as the width and length is fine, the height can be a little off. That doesn't bother us. The Mishnah Berurah says, Zak Mechaber Weiter. Awesome merubah is, let's say, which is the more classic case. Listen, if you don't make your tefillin square from the beginning, it's for sure a problem. But let's say you made it square. And over time, it became not so square. I.e., you banged the corner, so the corner is now rounded. Zak the Mechaber, Yesh Misha Oimer Shetzarach Levan. There's some say that you have to fix it. Now, the Mishnah Berurah explains, Niskalkel Rivon, first of all, it could be like mamish, like turned into like a shtick, like a rhombus. Or the corners became soft and now it's rounded. Until it's round. Yesh misha oimer. Now it's a weird lashon of yesh misha oimer. Yesh misha oimer kind of sounds like it's there are those that say this is universally accepted. This is like the Mishnah Berurah in chaylik b'zeh. There's no one that disagrees. This is a universally accepted halacha. The Mechaber, for whatever reason, in many places, will say a universal halacha as yesh misha oimer because it's only brought down by one pasuk. Sometimes something that's brought down by one pasuk is universally accepted. It just happens to be he's the only one who said it. So who is this one that said this? Yesh misha oimer. This is the shita of this is Shimusha Rabbah. So the Shimusha Rabbah says this, but it's universally accepted. Zak the Mishnah Berurah Shetzarach Rivon. To keep into Rivon, why do you have to do it? The answer is because the fact that it has to be square is halacha Mishnah Sinai. B'chol shaita be'inon. We always require it to be squared. It's not just like when it was made. It has to always be squared. You don't have to check because you could have the chazaka that it was square before and it remains square. Unless you're banging it or unless you see that it's not. This is actually, by the way, this could happen. They have a picture over here. If you see this, the titura, this happens sometimes. You'll bring it sometimes to Sfarim stores. For whatever reason, they don't glue it properly back. So they crack it open, and then they'll glue it, but not fully. So when you don't fully glue it, the bottom half of the titura sort of hangs down a little bit, so it's not a perfect square anymore. And they have the picture. It's sort of like it's got like a little flappy on the bottom over here. That's an issue. So it says the Mishnah Berurah, even though it's technically square, you have to fix that also. So it's something to be aware of. Now V'yasa, the Mishnah Berurah then says. The Ramah then adds off. Each of the 4 boxes should be the same size, meaning they have a picture. You shouldn't have this box bigger than the other 3. You understand that? Each of the box should be the square. B'diavad is fine. If you out of the 4 boxes, one of them is bigger than the others, it's fine. B'diavad, but l'chachila they should be all the same dimensions. Zak the Mechaber in Mem. Or habatim mitzvah lasos and shachar. It's a mitzvah for the boxes to be blackened. Zak the Mishnah Berurah habatim bekolshkin sheidakti kashin, especially the shin, which is the shem, one of the shemas Hashem, yashachar. Ulpamim machmas rob yoshno niklaf minu hashachris. You have to be careful because sometimes the corners of the shin can peel, and it will not be painted. But it should be blackened. Now, the Mechaber's lashon is mitzvah. Zak the Mishnah Berurah mashma b'diavad in la'akuva. Whenever the Mechaber says mitzvah, that's like l'chachila, but b'diavad it's fine. V'yesh parsim tzvila halacha Mishnah Sinai. Now listen, halacha Mishnah Sinai is the ritzuas for sure. The ritzuas have to be blackened. The batim, the Shulchan Aruch says mitzvah, which kind of sounds like it's not halacha Mishnah Sinai. It's a nice thing, but he says there are those that disagree and they say no, it's halacha Mishnah Sinai kamar ritzuas ulikuvahu, and therefore it's ma'akiv. Afil b'diavad. That's the sheet of the Gra. If all you have, sometimes you have it where the corners of the bottom begin to peel. Okay, if you have no choice, but if you should fix it. Mechaber says weiter, choritz shebein bayis lebayis, the choritz, which is the divot between the boxes of the shel rosh, tzara sheyagia ad atfar, meaning that box, the separation, that line that separates it should go all the way down to the base. It shouldn't stop halfway up. Again, nobody would have this, but he says ve'im loy hegia kshera. Kasher is b'diavad. V'hushia nikra hacharitz kedei sheyadalud rashei nir nakol. But you have to make sure that at least on top it's clear these are 4 separate boxes. The Mishnah Berurah says, "Aval me'ena nikra bebachutz asher befnim yesh dalad batim loy mahani." If it's not clear from the outside, even if in the inside there are different compartments, but on the outside it looks like a shel yad, no good. That's why the Gemara talks about if you take a shel yad and you put it on the shel rosh, even if inside the shel yad there are 4 different cloths, you have to then put leather on top to make it look like it's 4 separate boxes. Nikar acharitz, aval srita arishima ba'ama loy mahani klal. Merely scratching and making it appear as if it's 4 boxes is not enough. It has to be more than that. It has to actually be clear that there's a divot in, as opposed to just like scratching on top. You need a little bit of gap between. Once we had this a couple of days ago. The concept of taking the 4 boxes and gluing them together to the point where their mamish become like one unit. That's not. Chayei Adam is not a favor. All right, we'll stop.